Hey guys, this is Jennifer with the Shooter's Mindset, and we are here on episode 283 with Matt Hornback from MDT. And we're going to talk a little bit about a lot of stuff this show. So, MDT, get some info on them. So, we're here with Greg, co host, is here,
Hey everyone.
Mr. Engineer himself that keeps it all running in the background. Um, and of course, Matt is the guest of the hour. So for those of us that are
And we're
unfamiliar
gonna
with
talk a
you,
little bit about
Matt,
a lot.
start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the shooting industry.
All right, Matt Hornback, obviously. I live in Reno, Nevada. I started out years ago shooting USPSA and three gun, got into that pretty heavy. And then the Army was nice enough to send me to Fort Benning for sniper school. So I got a taste of that and got to shooting long range stuff. And then it was a natural progression to that. Had another job in the industry working with bolt guns. So transition to modular driven technology was kind of a natural progression for the whole thing. So here I am.
Sweet. And so that's how you got in with MDT. Fort Benning, that's in my neck of the woods, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. I spent some time in spent some time in Fort Benning. It's actually not a bad spot. I actually quite enjoyed it. Still got friends there, so
Down in God's country.
yeah.
It's just that we have gnats that are like birds, but that's
You
okay.
have everything that wants
Oh
to
my
bite you and
God.
kill you.
They're so bad.
Yeah, we have a little bit of everything. So, MDT, tell us a little bit about the history of MDT and how they got to where they are today, because it just seems like they kind of exploded. I mean, they've been around, but like I remember last year at SHOT Show, I tried to go by the booth to do a video and I couldn't even get in the booth and I didn't have a contact. So I ended up
Yeah.
not getting in there, but I couldn't even get in the booth. It was so swamped. So tell us kind of the history and how did they get to be where they are now?
All right. So it's a really cool story, and obviously I wasn't there, so this is all kind of third hand. MDT was actually started by a gentleman that was a machinist, and he is still associated with the company today. But he moved on to other ventures and starting other firearms related companies. But he was a machinist and really wanted a an accurate chassis system for his rifle to go shoot, but he couldn't afford one. So he ended up coming up with a design, and we still sell that design today. It's called the TAC 21. So our TAC 21 chassis is the 21st version of that, and that's the one he stuck with. And it just turned into him selling chassis to friends, and then it turned into a business, and then it exploded from there. And then we have all of our other chassis systems that evolved from there, like the HS3 and the LSS, and then on and on and on, and then all the magazines and grips and everything you see today. So it's an evolution of that trial and error and just making cool stuff that stuck, and that's kind of been the foundation for MDT.
Sweet. Y'all have gotten really involved with the precision rifle uh, scene, really, at matches. I see a lot of MDT jerseys. Y'all have really, really gotten out there and spread the word. And
Right. And I was involved with that even before I came on board. So my job title is actually PR manager, and what that entails is I do marketing stuff. I carry a camera, do lots of digital stuff, but I manage the shooting team and all the sponsorships, and I travel and I shoot and I make sure everything is taken care of and everything's good to go. So we started the shooting team loosely 2 years ago, and then full on last year, and then continued it, and then we're continuing to refine the whole sponsor shooter team and all the sponsorship for all the matches and everything to be heavily involved because it's something we're all passionate about. Most every employee indoors shoots and shoots competitively, enjoys matches on one level or another. So we're all in on it. We just really enjoy it. It's a passion of the company.
that's awesome. I know I see the MDT van out there.
Yep, and I actually just finished up a trip. I conned a good buddy of mine that works at Loophole. I went up and got the van in Seattle area, and drove down to Portland, picked him up, Mr. Josh Bouchard. He does the same thing, only for Loophole, and we drove it all the way down to Texas, Navasota, where we met with MDT shooters Mark Lee, Scott Satterley, and Keith Baker, and shot the Best of Texas match. I logged about 2,200 miles in that van, and then it is being piloted currently by Keith Baker, who hopefully should be home soon from his drive. He's heading back to Ohio.
Did he shoot Best of Texas?
He did. and he was feeling good enough to take on that, and we all shot together in the same squad, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a ton from all those guys. So
Awesome. How was that match? I have been not on social media for like 3 or 4 days, so I haven't gotten to see. Last post I saw about it was P Winky, Prentice Wink, wanting to know about the scores being up, and it was like on Thursday he wanted to ask for scores. So I didn't get to see anything. So tell us about that match a little bit.
so you won't see a lot of people talking about it because it hurt a lot of I think it hurt a lot of egos. Like I kind of turned tail from that one. It was tough. We had a lot of tough wins. The targets are small, and I was there in December shooting the NRL finale. Did pretty well, but this one had me scratching my head. I missed a lot of targets, pulled some bonehead moves, and just there was no one that did particularly well except obviously the winners. The top MDT shooter at that match was John Pinch, who I think came in 10th, and all of us were kind of far behind that. So it was it was a tough one. There were some pretty big names that were pretty far down there, and you just kind of scratch your head and like, well, it's just one of those matches, and hopefully we'll all do better at the next one.
Do you feel like the AG Cup, it was the first AG Cup qualifier, wasn't it?
It
Do you
was.
feel like it drew more of the top shooters that are trying to like I just heard that it was like, oh my gosh, this is like a finale, like looking at the roster from people that were shooting it. But obviously I didn't have access to it, the roster, but I heard it was a lot of really good shooters that came to that.
If you look at the practice score results, you'll see that there was a lot of guys in there that could have won that match. Like probably well over a third of the field could have won that match. There was close to like
Wow.
30 AG Cup shooters. And when you're paying an extra $250 to shoot a match for AG Cup qualifier, you're a good shooter. Like that's just straight up. Like
Mhm.
you have said, I'm good enough, I can win this, and I'm going to get the points for AG Cup. So yeah, there was a lot of good shooters. Even the ones that weren't AG Cup, there were still really good shooters that had a shot of placing top 10. So it was a fight. Um, Lots of clean stages, but the spread was super close. Like it was actually it was a tough match. But even if it wasn't a tough match, there was nothing separating those people. So it was a good one, but a tough one.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. So back to MDT a little bit. This new XRS chassis stock hybrid crazy contraption. Tell us a little bit about that. Let's see one.
So I got one of the first production ones to do photos and videos with right before shot, like the week before shot. Got my hands on it, saw some drawings and stuff when I was gone in army school. So catching up to that, and I was super impressed. I actually built it up in a rifle. Got it right here because I know we'd be talking about it. Um, so the major difference is the rear end. You can see it. It's pretty cool, man. $500, 499, and you get two overmolded grips in the box. I like the fatter vertical one. I fitted this one with a cheek pad on it, but it's adjustable comb. Length of pull starts at 13 inches. Everything about it is kind of a refined stock, if you will, but with a long aluminum center section. So you're really getting both the best worlds. And there's been some comparisons made to other stocks in the market, but I got to tell you, shooting this thing is actually really really nice. It's not flimsy. The plastic on it's super rigid, super comfortable. Everything about it. Your hand really naturally aligns to the trigger, which is my favorite part about it. That's why I like to run chassis, is to tune that grip in 90-degree trigger fingers. So it does that quite naturally. The balance is pretty nice. It's really a stock you can use for a number of different things.
Awesome. I know I got to touch one a little bit at SHOT Show. I didn't want to get all up on it and get everybody's crud, but it definitely seems like a very well thought out stock chassis hybrid there. It seems to have like all the features that the best of both worlds, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, and I've actually really enjoyed the short time I've had it. I've actually really enjoyed it, and it's something I'm actually going to use for field matches and team matches and stuff where having a big old heavy rifle is not really an advantage, especially if there's lots of prone shooting. So I'll be carrying it around. I'll be carrying one around for the Bakersfield PRS match here in about a month.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Well, Anthony joined us. Better late than
Hey,
never, right?
Yeah, I got you guys. I thought you guys were gonna wait. We usually start like 10 minutes late anyway. I figured I was just in time.
Nah, we don't start 10 minutes late. Like, I mean, 3 or 4
5
minutes
minutes,
late.
maybe.
Yeah.
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 We
That's
started a couple minutes after 9.
that's just so we give our viewers a chance to all get around and get ready to watch us, because we know everyone's sitting at home around their TV and they're like, "Oh man, when's TSM gonna start?"
That's
When
right.
when are we gonna see Matt
That's right.
on the show?
Everybody's anxiously awaiting.
And I'm the one who put like the time gif in his post.
I
And I'm the
know.
one late, right?
I was ready. I was ready an hour ago.
I know he messaged me. He was like, I'm ready. I'm set up and ready to go. I was like, all right, I'll send you the link when I have it.
So we just talked about the XRS stock.
We
or
did.
chassis.
Yep.
Stock
Okay.
or chassis or stock or
That's a
chassis?
tough one because there was actually a media member that reached out to me and said, "What do I call this? Like, what does it classify it?" I'm like, I don't. We're gonna call it a chassis because that's what we make.
Call it a
But man,
chalk
yeah, it's tough.
I love it.
or a.
I don't know, that's a tough. It's a tough one because like, what do you?
Chalk is the best. But hey, speaking of the XRS chassis slash stock slash chalk, if you're looking to buy one, Swanee's Comp Gear has one left in stock. Just
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it might be gone by now.
And he'll probably give you a cool sticker if you order from him.
Oh, he'll give you.
And
a
he gives you
pile
the whole little the little care package. Like have you ever gotten one of the little like emergency packs that he sticks in all his orders? It has like
I didn't get that. I ordered some bags from him. I didn't get anything. I'm gonna have to take him up on that.
He only does that for the cool people, Matt. Sorry.
Swanee, we have a complaint. But no,
Yeah.
he sticks some bug spray, some sunscreen, some earplugs. I forgot what else is in it. It's like sitting in my extra gearbox there. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Ooh, so Todd Richardson said, I'm gonna try and say this. Stassies?
Yeah.
Sassy.
That's what I was trying to get in my head was the ST and then the end of chassis, and I was trying to make it come out, and it wasn't lining up for me in my head.
Yep.
Yeah, Stassi.
Anthony, Mike Bell's giving you crap. He said the boss can be. Oh no, he's not giving you crap. He said the boss can be late. No, he can't be late.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't consider it. Yeah, I don't know. I was at the point where I was like, just let them roll with it because they already started it. But I was like, I kind of already
jump in.
Yeah, you know you want to hang out with us.
I already rushed to get here.
We figured you were coming, but we just, go ahead.
Yeah.
Ease in.
Yeah, we'll get started.
So the Crypod, am I saying that right, is growing in popularity?
Skypod.
No, not even
Skypod?
close. I don't know what a cry pod is.
I was like, Skypod.
That's where I go after matches. I got to go cryo after I see where I
Pod.
placed.
Yeah, it's a pod. You can actually rent them. They're quite cheap. I think it looks like a porta potty. All right.
I guess.
So,
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Skypod
here.
all right. So
Shit.
the background of the Skypod, Sky Thomas, pretty well-known shooter, precision rifle shooter. Has been around quite a long time in the game. He developed a Skypod. So we're partnering with him to make the Skypod under MDT branding. And then we're releasing some new variants and some new mounts and everything like that. So the Skypod, I've been running one for, 2 years, a year and a half, I don't know, a while, in countless matches, probably 50 matches. It's the one thing I don't leave without, and I leave them on every rifle I have. They are a true shooter's bipod, just because of everything they do. So this is one of my personal ones. You can see it looks a little bit different if you've never seen one before. All right, so the cool thing about this, we'll start with the legs. They do take Atlas feet, but they come with the spike feet on them. And they're really fast adjusting. So you've got the grip tape on here. So all you have to do is pull. And this is the standard length, single pull leg. So you get a ton of height out of it. Another cool thing about the legs is they also have these button settings in the back. So you can go super wide for low prone or super tall if you need extra height. So you get a ton of different heights out of the thing. Another cool thing is the head has about 170 degrees of tilt. So if I put this narrow, I can actually bend this thing like crazy. So if you're shooting off of angled roofs or rocks or anything like that, you can bend this thing around. And then the legs go 45 front or all the way forward. We have this is an Arca mount, but we also do a Picatinny, and then we just came out with a sling swivel stud mount too. It's pretty quick. Um, the Picatinny and the Arcas have a built-in barricade stop in the back. You can also use it to pinch bags and stuff if you want, or flip it around. So there's just a ton of versatility to these. They're really overbuilt, really fast deployment for everything. That's the big thing, is everything is very quick and able to do with one hand from one side of the rifle. So just super sturdy. We have a couple different variations. One I've been running is the double leg. So it's the same length as the standard, but you get about an extra 4 inches with a pull on it. And we also have a triple length that's a little too big to have on camera, but that goes like 36-inch legs, and you can pretty much do a tall kneeling position with it. So that's what we unveiled at SHOT Show, is the double and triples and the new mount, and as well as our heavy duty Skypod, which is made to withstand like 50 BMG recoiling and super heavy rifles.
That's awesome. Also, apparently, Swanee got 4 triples and 4 doubles in today. If you're looking to buy one,
Of course, Swanee's watching. All right, Swanee, I didn't get a care package apparently that came with everybody else's stuff. So
oh, he said that it's on its way to you already.
okay, I appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that.
It is pretty cool. Those are really, really awesome bipods. Every time I see someone in the match, I get a little bit of envy as they are like, "Oh, I just need a 2-foot tall bipod for this stage. Let me just pull the legs out of this bipod that doesn't look like it's 2 feet tall." And
Yep, and the awesome thing, especially if you're going to shoot in field matches, or you want to shoot field matches, it's like the must-have. You shoot in prone and tall grass, you need more height. You can't really do that with some of the other bipods. It's really restrictive. So that range, and then the range to go down all the way too, if you're shooting something low angled, or you just want to be as flat and as low to the ground as possible, it's right there. It's all within one hand reach. So it's super versatile, and it's, like I said, it's one of my favorite pieces of gear that I carry all around the country.
yeah, and it gets extra wide and stable too.
Yep.
What's MSRP on a bipod like that?
So they start with the standard or PRS length, with the PRS or short legs at 549, and then it goes up to there. Your double poles are 699, the heavy duty ones are 799, and the triple poles are all the way up to 999. So they are serious shooter gear, but I will tell you they're worth every penny. I bought 2 before I was even an employee of MDT, so I ended up paying full pop for them because I like them so much. So I ate a lot of ramen and soup for a while.
Yeah, that would be a lot of ramen and soup for me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
And the ELR guys have to use those type of bipods now, right? So they can't use them big sleds anymore.
It's definitely an option. And there's different ELR matches that are popping up too, that you need something a little bit more than those big sled feet. So yeah, and that's why we built the heavy duty 50 cal version of the Skypod to withstand the recoil of those bigger rifles and the weight, so you can really load into it.
Yeah, even though they're mostly shooting prone in those games, aren't they?
Yep, but you still need that versatility and that strength. So that's why we came up with it.
There we go.
So we had a question that came up, was asked of us in a couple different places, that I'm totally throwing you on the spot with this one, and I'm sorry if we can't talk about it. We'll just pass it up. But someone wants to know, how does the new hybrid chassis affect the acquisition of J Allen Enterprises, and can you tell us anything about the plans on what you guys are going to do with them?
Okay, I knew J Allen was going to come up. So the new XRS does not affect the J Allen stuff. So the XRS was in development long before the J Allen deal. So we still are doing that. So J Allen is going. It's slow, but we are gonna produce J Allen stocks underneath MDT branding. We're gonna machine them all, and then we're gonna work on some advancements with that in the coming months. Now, I don't have a solid timeline because anything on the acquisition and retooling and design takes a lot of resources to accomplish. So all I can say is by summer, we should start seeing a timeline and some advances on when we're going to have those stocks available and parts and all that stuff. So bear with us. It's a wonderful thing. We all admire Jay Allen for a long time. So our opportunity to buy those chassis and produce them under MDT is an honor for us. we hope to do a great justice in the next coming years. So just bear with us, and hopefully by June, July, you should start seeing some solid info on that.
That's awesome. And can you confirm or deny the rumor that Ryan Hay is the reason why they went out of business?
So I don't know
Damn.
if you saw it, but there's a blood trail on Ryan Hay.
It's awful. It's
Ryan,
like if you sponsor that dude, your company's bound to go under.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
be.
like the Grim Reaper.
yeah.
I'm just
So-
glad I got a big stock of PMAX.
yeah, there were some interesting comments on that thread too. No, man, as long as you keep a hand priming tool away from him, Ryan's good to go. So he's no longer a danger to himself or others. Ryan will probably watch this and go, I just saw that dude in Texas, and I know I like Ryan a lot, man. And I've had to call Ryan a few times. He's like, hey, I need to buy a new Magneto Speed bayonet. Someone shot it, and the first one
I had to make that call.
and the second one, someone else actually shot it. I left it on the firing line at an NRL match, and someone was nice enough to put a bullet through sensor too. So
Asking for a friend, right?
so the first one was asking for a friend. The second one was literally wasn't my fault, but I paid the price twice, and he likes to remind me of that. So I can't say that Ryan's the kiss of death. Maybe there's some commonality there that's just ironic, but it's not Final Destination involving Ryan so far. I don't think so. It is what it is.
Funny. See what,
Yeah,
what
that's
do we have?
terrible.
If so, he's
It's
about
like-
to take out some of your competition. So
I don't know. Every time, if I had a company on my jersey that keeps going out of business, I'm like, what am I doing? What?
yeah, really.
It's like, hold on.
I really
Right?
hope it's a coincidence, because that would be the
Yeah.
weirdest thing ever. But Ryan's a good dude, good solid dude and shooter, and I've enjoyed being around him. So and I was actually I was prepping for this by watching his Shooter's Mindset video on YouTube. So thanks, Ryan, for that.
Which one? Because there's a ghost episode out there that's
Yeah, no,
not
that
live.
the most recent one never made it to YouTube. We killed that.
Yeah, it was like 190 something, 193 or something. I don't know. I just Googled
Okay,
it.
yeah. So those are the older one.
Yeah, that was when he was on the first time.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, it was
okay.
pretty good.
Nice.
You know.
There we go. Oh man. The number. What do we got here? Partnership with Savage. You got the 110 Elite, the B22 Precision, A22 Precision. Jen, you got to demo these, right?
Yeah.
We got to demo them at Gap Grind, and both of us even ended up in commercials for them.
Nice. Thank
How-
you for that.
How's that partnership working out for you guys? Because that's really awesome. Because it's there's all sorts of guns in that price range, but like the new GA Precision is an awesome gun. Phil at MPA has some awesome guns, but like you're not gonna find those they're not as available to the general public as these, and they're really, really good shooting guns for the price.
I've talked with a lot of shooters at great length about this, but if you want a true production PRS production class rifle, that's the one to get. Where Savage and MDT are not out there to take your bank account, so that is literally the best deal you're gonna find in the sub $2,000 range. So it's been amazing. Savage has been amazing. They're very involved. They want to be more involved with the competitive shooting. They have great spokespeople. Shot with Scott this weekend. So Scott Satterley is shooting PRS production with one of those rifles. The one he took to Texas this weekend wasn't even his rifle. He ended up borrowing a rifle from Patrick Kelly that isn't even one of the models I mean, it is, but it's a lesser model of what was available. So he has like the first run of that doesn't have the nitrided bolt. It's I think a little thinner barrel contour from what I don't know all specifics, but it is the rifle, but it was a lesser variant of that rifle, and still did extremely well. Took top production, placed 40th overall in the match. So he did outstanding, and shooting factory 6.5 prime ammo. So he was shooting a factory rifle, one of the Night Force NSX8s, I believe it's called, and then factory ammo, and still hammered targets. I was trying to play catch up all weekend to Scott, and he just kept hammering. So that's an amazing rifle. And Scott does it justice. So
So,
Awesome.
according to the American Rifle Series, it actually wasn't Scott that won the match. It was the rifle itself that won first in
I can see
production.
that. I can see that, but someone had to steer it in the general direction of the targets. So I'm going to give him credit for that.
I need to get one of these.
You really do,
Yeah.
Anthony. We
Is
were
it-
hammering 1,000-yard targets, like impacts every time with, it was like
Just because I
federal,
gave you the wind call.
just
Yeah,
because
well, that's-
just because Jen gave me the wind call. But the rifle was still accurate. I can't read wind worth a shit. And that's very evident when I'm sitting there vaping.
He's
And I'm
like,
like,
here, you shoot first.
You can't-
ladies
you can't-
first. I'm a gentleman. What
And
can
I got
say?
down and hammered that 1,000-yard target. And I stand up and he's like, what'd you hold?
But if you blow the vape, right, and the direction of the wind the vape goes, I'd figured
Yeah.
you'll have
But
some
But
type of
so,
decent
so
call.
this is what happens when we're at a match. I'm like, the wind is blowing right to left. Jennifer is on my right side. I'm going to vape and I'll be good. And it hits her in the face every time.
And I can't stand it. And I'm like, I hate that thing. If you don't get that out of my face, I'm going to smack you.
I mean, the amount,
So he can't read wind.
I cannot read wind worth a dang.
Yeah.
This time takes
Well,
time.
if it's a rifle that you can buy and requires no skill, like finally the piece of gear that you buy and you win without any practice or anything, I'm all in for it.
It really was a good rifle. Like they had it set up and everybody was getting behind it and shooting that 1,000-yard plate. They had it dialed in for 1,000 yards and people were laying down. Like, I think they said you can put your name in for something if you hit the 1,000-yard. I don't know. I think they were glad they said you put your name in a hat and not like you get something free because everybody was hitting it.
and it's kind of a that's kind of a cool thing because I've worked range day for a number of years, and those firearms you bring get hammered on. Like there is no breaks for those guns. So to be
Mhm.
able to do that and still hit a decent sized target at 1,000 yards that says something because those things are not treated nicely. They don't get time to cool down. You don't know the zero on them. You just don't know. But that's pretty cool that everything was able to be maintained. So
So we
that's
shot it
it.
at the Gap Grind and I shot it again at the SHOT Show range day with
Right.
Pat Kelly. And yeah,
Pat's awesome.
both times
actually,
it hammered.
I went over to the Savage booth and talked to him for quite a bit, and he pleaded his ignorance to the whole precision rifle thing. But I think he's holding out quite a bit of talent there. He just doesn't want to use it.
He wants to
Yeah.
come back on the show. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have a Savage show with him.
Yeah, crazy humble dude. He'll never.
Yeah,
I don't
no
think
kidding.
he ever says that he's, you know. I mean, I think we always sometimes when he's watching, we give him this praise, and he's like, "Dude, I'm just a dude behind a gun," and the dude has a lot of talent. He just doesn't act like he does.
Exactly, and that's a very admirable thing. That's why I've liked him and followed him for years. I actually shot Barry Steele in the squad next to him, and I was just laughing the entire time because the dude's such a character, but he just nails targets. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There we go. We got a discount corner here coming up, and if we got any live, we'll hit those. Jen, you usually start us off. I know we're running. I don't know. I don't have much discount corner on my end, but what do you got?
Carbon Arms, if you're still shooting 3-gun. I know I kind of shifted gears, but anyway, there's still a discount code out there. TSM10 will get you 10% off Carbon Arms if you want some shotgun shell caddies and all that good stuff. Check them out at carbonarms.us. You can also get 10% off at Under Industries for awesome jerseys. They do a great job, veteran owned, and they'll do pretty much anything you want. They have hoodies. So I have a hoodie that has my sponsors on it. So when it's cold out like it is now, I hate the cold. I used to, have my jersey, but it was like underneath all of my layers. Well, now I have a hoodie that has it. So I can actually still show my sponsors and wear my hoodie.
All right, so time out about the whole Jen saying it's cold. I am like 10 minutes from her house. It is currently 68 degrees.
It's not right now, but it was like
cold.
snowing an hour from here over the weekend.
I'm in my garage with a space heater, and it's like 20 degrees outside right now. So
I can't help you have poor life decisions of where you chose to live.
Right.
Hey,
This
it's
weekend,
nice
it was
weather
like-
here.
This weekend it was like 30 degrees. It was
Yeah,
miserable.
I did not bring enough jackets to my match this weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting. Had to throw that in there. Your definition of cold.
Anyway, if you want a discount from Under Industries, reach out to them on Facebook and mention the Shooter's Mindset.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
I have you could save 10% off at Overwatch Defense with the code Cannon10. Shoot them an email or give them a call to get an awesome Cerakote job. And then the code Mindset10 in all caps, it'll save you 10% off of all phone scope products.
Matt, we're going to come to you. I don't know if you have any on the fly ones, but just one on, I have two actually on my end. Folks over at Tactical, umtactical.com, TSM10 saves you 10% off website wide. A lot of holsters, a lot of AR-15 parts over there. Also, Tactical Life Firearms, if you go to their website, tacticallife.net, use code TSM10. I don't think it works right now. It probably will. I don't know. But I'll make sure I'll send a message to them to get a code up. So if you're watching this later on, a lot of ARs, AR manufacturer, AR-15 parts built from the ground up, handguns, variety of things over there at tacticallife.net. Matt, what do you have as far as discounts if you have any?
We offer PRS and NRL discounts for members. So if you're a member of those two fine organizations, just go ahead and send us an email in and we'll take care of you.
There you go. Anything live here? Anything that we got that came in here?
So Matt Sprouse said he got a $50 gift card for hitting that 1,000-yard target.
What?
Oh, yeah. Also, Swanee said the code LOYAL10 for 10% off at Swanee'sCompGear.com.
Woohoo, Swannies!
And that goes for all of this week.
Dang.
Swanee,
Swanee's
will everybody
doing
get
better.
their little match pack, their little emergency pack with that, or are you gonna leave them
Of
out?
course.
Oh, it's so nifty.
Swanee
We
should
got-
do a giveaway where he comes and cooks his tomahawk steaks for you.
Oh my god, he does
I'm
that.
feeling left out.
Oh, they look so good. I've never got one. I always get the pictures of them. You know, we'll be
Yeah,
sitting in
one
our,
day I'm going to be lucky enough to get to eat a Swanee steak.
Yeah, we're always sitting there in the Airbnb at night. You know, we just finished up eating our McDonald's, and it's like, oh look, Swanee's cooking steaks.
Yeah. Boom. What else we have here? Any more live? Are we good there? What do we have? The growth and rimfire deal. Man, that was kind of like the whole SHOT Show, I think.
Yeah.
Some people have their different opinions on what the year was, but it usually is. But I saw a lot of 22s and I saw a lot of 5.7 by 28. So I think people are trying to vamp up that pistol caliber in a sense. So Ruger coming out with theirs. I think there's another company, Diamondbacks, coming out with like a very thin, kind of foldable pistol in that caliber.
You come up with some decent ammo with that, decent range ammo, then you've got something, but that one's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's growth of rimfire, right? We're seeing that in NRL 22, partly due to NRL 22. I believe they have a big factor in that. Where do you see the future of rimfire precision?
So rimfire matches, silhouette, and even some of the kind of the copy of precision rifle matches, but scaled down for rimfire, have been around for a long time. But NRL 22 is an amazing part of NRL. I jumped on that and helped run matches and shot a lot of NRL 22 when it first started, still do. Built a bunch of rifles for it. I have way more fun shooting the NRL 22 matches than I do centerfire matches because I just genuinely enjoy it more. It's a lot more fun. It's not as noisy. You still get the same I shot a whole match feeling without spending a couple $100 on ammo. It's super fun, and they are super accurate little rifles. You can do some pretty incredible things with those. It's doing nothing but growing, and I'm glad I'm seeing it because it gives meaning to shooting rimfire stuff again. Whereas before it was probably, Olympic style biathlon type rifles and super expensive ammo. But now it's got some meaning behind it. So we're picking up our inlets on our chassis to accommodate that. The NRL 22 is growing. It went from like 100 ranges to a couple hundred, and the number of members now is huge. I RO'd the NRL 22 championship last year. I'm gonna RO this again this year. Did a nice side match last year. Going to do the same thing this year in Tennessee. But it's amazing, and it's a cool thing to watch. And you encounter so many new people going to these matches, and it's awesome to bring people into shooting sports because there's people that would never think about shooting a precision rifle match or competitive shooting at all if it wasn't for that. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I recently, in December, I started running a NRL 22 here, and it really has been great. It's just been a great opportunity to bring new shooters into the sport in a really easy environment. You know, we run our match at a local rifle range. They have a 100-yard range with concrete floors and a roof and the whole 9 yards. So it's not like, you know, you're showing up for your first match and lugging gear a mile or
Yeah.
getting lost in the middle of Wisconsin like Jen did this year.
There's some
It,
awesome things about NRL 22. It's a one bag match.
Mhm.
You don't really need anything else but a small, like either game changer or soul sack or whatever you're going to use. You don't need anything more than that. And like, I kid you not, a whole squad can use one rifle because the
Mhm.
rifles don't overheat. And as long as you brought enough ammo, it's awesome. So I always try to bring one or two extra people with me, give them a loaner rifle, they can shoot my rifle, and it's an awesome way to get people involved and kind of build that community. So I'm in love with it. I love shooting NRL 22, and I hope to see it more in more places around the country.
Yeah, and you guys got a lot of. I know you guys support the NRL 22. And we thank you for that. And you guys have a lot, like a whole lot of different inlets, like more inlets than I've seen any of the other companies out there. You guys got something for everything. Plus, y'all's chassis that you offer. What's the cheapest rimfire chassis you guys offer? Because I know your prices are phenomenal.
Well, we have the LSS rimfire that can be configured a number of ways, and we have the ACC, of course, and then we're working on more inlets for the Oryx line. Um, so we've got a bunch of different stuff, and the Oryx comes in about $399, and then the LSS rimfire is different price depending on configurations all in. So we've got a bunch of different options, and it's doing nothing but growing. But I tell you, the 700 inlet for that has taken off. And at SHOT Show, we saw a couple different new offerings for that, which are quite good, like the Zermatt Rim-X and the
Mhm.
Ultimatum Deuce. So those are gonna blow up. People are catching on to this, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yep, and you even had Jen. What was your favorite rimfire?
My favorite rimfire there, the Curtis Custom Action
Oh, the Curtis, yeah. So the Curtis, so he's gonna
conversion
be
bolt.
selling. Well, he's gonna sell. I forgot about that one. Thanks for bringing that up. The conversion bolt for your Curtis action you already have, or he's gonna sell whole actions, including that bolt. So that's a pretty cool way to go.
That's
Um,
very exciting for me who has a Curtis Custom Action.
there you go. Just drop it in, and then I believe Proof is gonna make prefits for those as well. So that's a good way to go.
Sweet.
Yeah, we had Chase on the show. Was it the? I think it was the day he announced it, or the week he announced it, something like
Yeah,
that.
the day he announced it, we had him on the show. And yeah, I told him my birthday's in March. Chase, if you're watching, in case you
Mm.
forgot,
Me neither.
birthday's in March.
All you need is a bolt.
Just a bolt
Mhm.
and a barrel. I'll good. I'll be good.
There you
That's
go.
funny.
He's gonna
What
be
do you,
sick of me.
Probably. You just start texting him. Hey, you got my birthday present ready yet?
I am gonna get one of those. Legit, I will buy one of those. That's just really cool to be able just the value in being able to practice with your own setup.
Or
And
to
so
not
you're
have
used to
to
it.
replicate, with if you're trying to use the same $1,000 stock, the same $4,000 optic, the same $300 trigger, that's a
So
lot of money.
a word of advice though on NRL 22, you do shoot at 25 yards. So if you're gonna use the same optic, make sure it's one that'll parallax down 25 yards. So um,
Hmm.
just something to consider with that.
Yep.
Yep, and I think yours will.
Yeah, I think mine will.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me look at it. So switching gears a little bit from rimfire back over to centerfire. This new mag you guys got, the hybrid, it kind of seems like it has the best of both worlds. Plus, I love that nifty little view window, so you don't do dumb things like I do and walk up to a stage with like 7 rounds in a 10-round magazine or something.
Yep. So it's called the Polymetal Mag, and I do have one here that I managed to acquire from SHOT Show myself because I didn't have a production one. So these are actually really cool. I've been running a prototype one for quite a while, and these feed super slick. That's the cool thing about them. So We really like PMags. Every AR shooter likes PMags. I don't, and Lancer mags and all those that are polymer bodied. So it's been a commonplace for quite a long time. So the polymer self lubricating, which is pretty cool. The window is pretty awesome, so you can see exactly where you are in round count. Tons of room in here. Steel feed lips. This is the coolest part, right? So steel feed lips, so you can tune them if you need to, but they also feed super slick. So the whole thing feeds like butter and goes in and out of any chassis that takes AICS compatible magazines. So I'm actually going to start running these quite a bit. These are slick. We only have them in 308 offering right now, but we've been getting tons of requests for some other offerings in it, so we may look at that as well.
Yeah, I was definitely looking at that when I saw it. I'm changing up a lot of stuff for this year, and I know, with a fully polymer mag, it either works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
And my current action and my current caliber, I know works absolutely flawlessly out of a polymer mag. But I'm changing calibers, I'm changing actions, I'm changing barrels, I'm changing scopes, I'm changing pretty much everything. So when I saw that come out, I was like, ooh, I might have to look into that if my mags don't feed the way they're supposed to.
We've had a ton of success with the magazines. It all started with the 10 and 12 round magazines, and our 12 round magazines are the same size dimensionally, obviously, as other AICS pattern 10 round magazines. So you actually get 2 more rounds in that mag due to the slight change in the taper of the magazine at the top. So that's where you're getting those 2 extra rounds in that magazine. Then our 10 rounders are actually shorter than a standard 10 round AI or Accurate Mag or any other AICS pattern magazines that are double stack single feed. So if you want a shorter mag for 10 rounds, we have that covered. And we have binder plate and non-binder plate. So if you're loading something like 260, 243 with heavies, we've got a mag that'll accommodate that within reason. Obviously, you can't load it to the moon, but we do have the standard binder and non-binder plate available. And then something we came out with last year was a 6BR mag. So we actually have a magazine solution for 6BR and Dasher and all those BR variants. Those run a little bit more, like $10 more, but it's not an insert into a magazine or anything. It's an actual magazine designed to feed those cartridges, and they work very well with a number of actions. So, well, I think all actions. So yeah, the magazine's done very well for us.
Greg, you're going to 6GT, obviously, right? What optic are you going with? I know you had some optic issues throughout the season here.
Where is it? Here we go.
Okay.
Vortex Razor. That's right here.
Dang.
So that'll be going on as soon as the action gets back from the gunsmith.
So at the shop today at Tactical Life, Buddy or Knife Force scope comes in, right? Don't know who it's for. So dude orders this, forgot what model, but anything Knife Force, you're usually going to pay a little hefty tag. And he's putting it on his like airsoft gun to shoot iguanas. Dude is nuts.
Florida is a really weird state. Like, I'm blaming that on all of you. That is just Florida's fault.
The dude bought a Knife Force optic to shoot iguanas at, because you can do that. It's legal to do that in Florida because they're just overpopulated areas. So the dude bought like a couple $1,000 scope to shoot iguanas with.
I love my
If it
Knife
works, it
Force.
works.
I thought you were going to say I love iguanas.
And he has straight Christmas tree reticle, like the whole deal. This dude is serious. You got to be serious if you're putting that.
At what distance is he shooting iguanas?
I don't. It don't make no sense because when he said, be careful of putting those type of scopes on your rimfire guns because obviously 20. I don't think you at 25 yards max for like one of these air guns or something like that for iguanas. If we able to have the impact to actually put one down.
So was it an air gun or an airsoft gun?
I don't know, bro.
So
It was something.
Gotta
It was
be an
something.
air gun.
Because
Gotta be a CCP air gun.
yeah, because some of the air guns will have like ballistics close to that of a 22.
Or
Yeah,
better, there's PCPs that take like 25 caliber and larger. So
I don't know. I just found it odd, but yeah.
Let's see.
Matt's right though. You have to make sure the parallax is good because I did the first was it an NRL 22 match or just a 22 match?
That we shot with Heidi?
Yeah.
It was a Voodoo Rimfire series.
Yeah. And I still don't have a 22 rifle, Chase. Anyway, but
Dropping hints.
so I borrowed a gun from, I shot someone else's gun that was also shooting the match. And the scope, we had a 25-yard paper stage. I couldn't even see the target. Like the parallax just would not go down to 25 yards. And it was all a blur. I'm like, well, I mean, it's darker kind of right there. I guess I'll aim for that. I did terrible on that stage because I couldn't see. But it was great glass at distance. But who would have thought that 25 yards you'd be handicapped by a scope? But
So I got my my little Athlon on my 22. It goes down to 25 yards, no problem. So I got a couple live ones real quick. First, sticking with the MD with the new mag, the hybrid. Todd Richardson wants to know if you can run them with the MDT 2-round extensions.
No, the base plate on them isn't the same, so you can't run them with the extensions until either we or someone else makes an extension. I don't have an answer for that. So no, it's a different profile. The metal ones are a thin metal lip on the bottom. This is quite big.
Gotcha.
So nope.
Do you guys have any plans to ever offer those in a 12-round mag?
Not that I know of, but we have this cool thing on our website. There's a link on mdttac.com that you can request all sorts of products. So if you have an inlet or an idea that you want to see happen, we listen to that, and all of that goes into consideration. If it's something that we can do, we do it. So check that out.
Awesome. Mike Bell wants to know if you guys make anything for a Winchester Model 70.
I believe we do. I don't know off the top of my head. I can look up the website. Just scroll through the chat systems, though. Check out the ESS and the LSS models, and that'll give you your answer right quick. So mdttac.com, check out the chat section, and your answers will be right there.
Awesome. Chad said he has an S&B on his PCP pellet gun, by the way. Because he's a crazy guy.
Hey.
if you can, I mean, I would have a Night Force on my Glock if I could. I love it.
I'll say that might be a good idea for those freaking 2-gun matches we've been doing. 115 yards with a pistol.
God.
Wow, Anthony has a bad internet connection.
All of a sudden you're laggy, Anthony, and frozen. At least you're frozen like in a nice normal face, not like, I'm not going to make the face because it'll freeze. But like sometimes you get frozen in your
something like that.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what I was saying because it kind of ruined it because I lagged out. So I don't feel like repeating it now. What else we had more live, or we're good? Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. All right. If I'm not frozen, I'll make it to this question here. You guys offer a lot of different chassis. Which one would you say is the most popular and why, Matt?
Okay. So most popular sales wise or image wise, the competition one obviously is the ACC, Adjustable Core Competition Chassis. So that one's really taken off, and I've been seeing a ton of them around the country, which is awesome because people are starting to dig what we've been doing. So that one's awesome. That's what I shoot, and I have one for my little Tika T1X I shoot for NRL 22, and I have one for my centerfire rifle. So that thing is amazing. Most popular, that one's really tough. The ESS is pretty popular as far as sales and looks because you can fully configure that with different buttstocks and the forends and stuff. So that one's pretty amazing. So I'm gonna go with those two, the ESS and the ACC, as of right now.
Jen, what do you got? Anything on your end?
Sweet. Yeah. So I just saw that Paul Reed just kind of announced and put on his Facebook that he's shooting for MDT this year. Who, like, Paul is one of my favorite people in PRS. He was there at my very first gap grind on my squad and loaned me elbow pads and my elbows from my AR-10 that .308 that I was shooting that I borrowed was like tearing my elbows up. Anyway, he's just a great guy and a great ambassador of the sport that is constantly giving away his prize table walk to a shooter that is placing lower and probably needs,
The gear. Yeah.
the gear. He's a great guy. So I just saw that he's shooting for y'all, and I think Keith Baker. Who all do y'all have on the team, and how's that all going?
The team is stacked. Let me tell you. We have a great team. We've got we're trying to we've got so many good shooters between our team and our supported guys that it's just an amazing, and it really is a close knit team. I wish I could travel more and shoot with all of them, but yeah, we have Keith Baker, Matt Steiner, Kevin Shepard that we picked up this year for the main team, and then John Pinch, of course, Scott Satterley, Mike and Keely Lilly, Marshawn Havred, Dave Giuliani. We've got so many good shooters, and then we've got our employees as well. So we picked up Francis Cologne too up there, a little bit more north than I am. So we've got a lot of talent, a lot of talent. So yeah, we still got Sky Thomas shooting for us. We picked up Colton Cloud. I got to see him this weekend down in
Nice.
Texas. So like I said, we've got a lot of really, really good shooters that are shooting our gear, and that we're very proud to have a part of them, because we like shooters that carry the same, that carry themselves the same way the company does. So very good people, good honest shooters that shoot very well. I got to shoot with Mark Lee, Scott, Keith, at the Texas match, and that was a lot of fun. I'd only met Keith one other time at SHOT Show, so I got to spend time with Keith. He's an amazing gentleman and an incredible shooter. So we are very happy to have him, and he's going to be piloting the MDT van for 2020. So if you're at a match and Keith's there, please go say hi to him. Go get some MDT swag from the van. So please just say hi to him. Say hi to him for me. So
Keith
yeah,
is a great guy too.
Yeah.
He helped me out at one of my first matches that I went to alone that wasn't the gap grind. And I kind of started this blindly, like I didn't have anybody local to teach me. And I went to LRSE, which was a rough match. But I lost a ball bearing out of my chassis, the cheek riser, and he fixed that for me. And someone else that was with us had a carbon ring, had been having some issues, and he had a borescope. And so we're like in the room at Rock Castle, and he's like looking in their bore and cleaning it out and fixing it, and got them all straight and all that. Just a great guy also.
Yeah. And then getting back to Paul Reed, I talked to Paul Reed a few times. We picked him up. He's kind of a later addition because we had everything kind of finalized before the first of the year. Paul jumped on after he got back home. And I got to hang out with him for a bit at Texas. Super awesome, genuine guy. I didn't even know he was Australian. So
You
he's
didn't
not
know
from
that?
no, because he's
He's
not from
Australian.
I had never met the gentleman before. And I was like, I told him that, and I was like, now it makes sense why you were in Australia for so long. So yeah, just an awesome guy, and I felt like such an idiot. But yeah, awesome gentleman. Got to spend and talk to him a lot. He's running MDT ACC. And he the first thing he said, because he and I did not do so hot at this match, and he's like, I think MDT is gonna throw me back in the pond. I was like, no, we're good, man. Don't worry, it's a rough one. Yeah, definitely. He's very entertaining too. I like talking to him a lot. So yeah, just another great addition to all the great shooters that shoot for us. And we're happy to have him. So we're expanding. We're doing awesome stuff in the shooting sports world, and we're all very, very happy and passionate to be a part of it.
Shout out to Marshan too. We hung out at SHOT Show.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's my girl now.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't-
fun.
She's fun, and she's one of those people that I don't think has ever had a bad day. She's just
Yeah.
she's always so cheerful and nice when you deal with her, and she's amazing. And she's been doing great things too with going to schools and educating kids.
Yeah,
with
did you see
safety.
that?
It's amazing. And the NRL picked her up as an ambassador as well. So yeah, and her and Keely Lilly do some amazing things to get people involved in the sport and stuff. So we're proud to have them.
That's awesome. I saw those pictures and like they straight up had a rifle sitting on the teacher's desk.
Out of school, right?
I was expelled from middle school for bringing a deadly weapon to school because at the time I was 14 years old and working at a paintball field, and I pulled my jacket out of my backpack and like 4 paintballs rolled out of my backpack onto the floor, and they're like, "You have ammunition. You could kill somebody with this." I'm like,
ammunition.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm like, bro, that's not.
So. You got expelled for paintballs?
Yes, for a deadly weapon. I had to have a hearing to go back to school.
Ouch.
I was like, but like, guys, it was okay though. I was cool with it because we had the paintball field I was working at had stuff going on, a whole lot of stuff going on while I was expelled. So I just worked all day, every day. I had all this money. I went back to school. I'm like, look, I got like $100. I'm rich for 14.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, for a $100 bill at 14.
Swanee said Keith snores. He roomed with him at SHOT Show.
I don't know. So we shared a Airbnb in Texas, and he slept downstairs and I was upstairs. So I can't verify that. But Swanee probably snores.
No, Swanee just stays awake all night and drunkenly wakes people up, from what I hear.
I heard those stories as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a character. I will see him again soon, I'm sure. I have a bunch of matches I'm going to shoot throughout the country. I'm trying to get back to East Coast a couple times. We'll see how that goes. My next one will be the NRL match in Nebraska, early March, and then Bakersfield PRS. So if anybody sees me at either one of those matches, come say hi. I'll be running a side match with the Zermatt guys at the NRL Nebraska match. So please come and say hi to me. We'll talk shop and hopefully have some swag on hand to give you. So don't be shy.
Let me know what matches out east you end up doing.
I'm trying to get to. You said you had one at Frontline soon.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to Frontline. I'm going to Alabama, and I'm going to Collis, the Canaan match.
I'm trying to go to Frontline once this year. That's one I would love to do. We're going to go on one of the Ohio matches too, or the PRS New England. I don't know. I haven't narrowed that down. I'm trying, but living on the West Coast is a little tough to travel sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Chad confirmed that Swanee does snore, by the way, for anyone wondering.
Yeah, I bet he does. That guy looks like he snores.
Yeah. Oh, what do we got? The V2 vertical grip. You want to tell us about it, Matt?
Yeah, so we had some prototypes kicking around SHOT Show. Those gained a lot of attention. So our current vertical grip, and the V2 will just be an addition to the line. So this one, the profile, you can see kind of tapers down. It's a little smaller, but it's able to be adjusted fore and aft to compensate for the length of your trigger finger, pretty much, because generic AR-15 grips just don't do that. And some other ones are just fixed in place. It doesn't do you much good, especially if you got a smaller hand and you can't kind of wrap around. So we came up with the V2. This has been a project, and I've been kind of helping with this one for a while. Put them next to each other. You can kind of see the differences here. If I can get this lined up right, you'll be able to see it. You'll see the difference between the black one, which is the V2, and then our standard vertical grip. The post is also a little bit different, so how it mounts is a little bit different in there. And the V2, we're trying to make work for gas guns as well with the safety detent in there. So there hasn't been a great option for gas gunners and grips, to be honest. I'm one of those guys. I got several gas guns that I like to shoot. Especially laying down, I've got 6.5 Grendels and six Grendels and stuff like that. So I'm excited to finally have an option that I can adjust around that's got a little bit fatter grip to it. So that is going to be new for this year. Hopefully the next couple months we'll start making and shipping these. So watch for that on the site.
Oh, there we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, I did get any live ones. If not, we can kind of wrap this one up unless we have any more things to add. Greg, what do you got after you unmute yourself?
I think that's it for live.
Boom. All right, I guess we can wind this one here down to shout outs. Jen, what do you got?
Yep. Shout out to Prime Ammunition, Macmillan Stocks, Night Force Optics. We were talking about their optics earlier. GSL Suppressors for keeping us civilized. Warren Scope Mounts, Under Industries. Reach out to them for jerseys. They have great stuff. Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta and Phone Scope to be able to see what you got going on. Spartan Precision Rifles just chambered my 6GT barrels. So I just got that back. I don't have a load developed yet, but soon to come. Can't wait. So that's all.
There you go. Matt, when are we expecting shipping on those new grips, or did you say that? What do we got on those?
Next couple months.
Next couple months.
We're finalizing everything up now. We're usually pretty quick to production and market with stuff. So next couple months, those will be flying out the doors.
And again, for those who don't know, website where you can go check out these products and the chassis and the stocks and all that.
Check us out at mdttac.com.
Boom. There we go. Greg, shout outs. What do we got?
Yep, I got Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta, our local ranges here. PDC Custom, NDZ Performance for a real sweet Gucci Glock. Phone Scope, Shooters World Powder, Hunters HD Gold. If you haven't tried them, were they down there at your match? They were someplace this weekend.
Yeah. We had Brian wasn't there from Hunters HD Gold, but we had some. They did sponsor the match, and we did have some glasses given away, which I was like hoping I won. Even though I had them, I was like, I didn't get it. You know,
weren't they in Texas too?
They were in Texas.
He was in Texas. Brian was actually in Texas.
In that really sweet tent made by Under Industries.
Yeah.
If you if you guys do get a chance to try them out, if you see them in a match, give them a try. It really does make it easier to see everything. Vortec for pretty much the most high class stuff you could ever clean your bolt gun with. And that's what I got.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I was kind of blown away by that Vortex stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy. Shout out to my end. Actually, let's do shout outs. Matt, what do you got on your end?
Not much. Maybe just thank all my sponsors that keep me shooting. So Loophole Optics. Everybody else has been mentioned tonight except Loophole, but I shoot the Mark Fives. Hornady, Armageddon Gear, MDT, obviously, HS Precision Barrels. I just got a bunch of great sponsors. Hunts Long Ridge, 782 Custom Gunworks as well. So yeah, everyone that helps me out and puts good product in my hand.
Yeah, that's always a great help. Shout out to mine. If you're watching this on the YouTube side of things, right below the video, you see the yellow subscribe button. Hit that every Tuesday at 9 Eastern. We're doing a new episode of The Shooter's Mindset featuring another great guest. If you want to email me, theshootersmindset@gmail.com is a good way to do that. Tandem Cross for all your rimfire needs now. They're kind of focused on the Ruger 1022s and the pistol game. But man, they really have all your ins and outs for the 22 world. So go check them out. We just put up their 2020 SHOT Show booth video this morning up on the YouTube channel and on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. So check that out if you're interested. Definitely thanks to Matt for coming on, spending some time here to talk to us. We appreciate that. And lastly, Rise Armament for some fine ARs and AR parts and triggers. That'll do it for episode 283 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Thank you.
We're out of here.